Welcome to Corey's Conscious Living.
Hi, my little friends. I was just working. I was sat here at my desk doing some recording and I had a thought about something, and you're never going to guess what I found. I found some cats that look just like Heidi, Cherry and VAYA. I was like, OMG, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Anyway, I've put the links down below for you underneath the video, so go take a look and hopefully you like them. Bye, guys.
Are you ready to meditate with Corey? Make sure that everything is just right in your room. The night light is low and gentle. You have all of your squishies and your teddies around you. And you're feeling ready to relax and let go of your day. This story is all about Javier. Javier was a very happy, kind, sensitive, loving boy. And he was extremely lucky. He was lucky because he had so many giraffes. Now, I'm not talking about real giraffes because, that would be absolutely awesome, wouldn't it? A boy that has like hundreds of real giraffes. We wish. No, I'm talking about hundreds of stuffed teddies, like stuffies and squidgies and cuddlies, whatever you want to call them, giraffes. All different types, all different sizes, different ages, different colors. But they were real in a way. They were real to Javier and they were real to each other. 3 of Javier's favorite giraffes were Mehbal, Meepy Giraffe, and King Giraffey. Mehbal was a giraffe that was called Meh, and he was a ball, so Javier called him Meh Ball. But he was a giraffe shaped in the shape of a ball, hence he was called Meh Ball. The other giraffe was Meepy Giraffe, and Meepy Giraffe didn't really talk, he just made meep sounds. Meep, 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 meep. He talked like that. But Javier knew exactly what he was saying, and so did all the other giraffes. And then there was King Giraffey, and King Giraffey squeaked. And he always squeaked when Javier was having a bad dream. King Giraffey just had this brilliant ability to take away Javier's bad dreams when he squeaked. Meepy was awesome also because Meepy knew exactly how Javier was feeling. He would know if he was feeling scared, he would know if he was feeling sad. He could sense all the different feelings inside of Javier without Javier even having to say anything. On this particular day, Javier had fell asleep downstairs. And that's totally okay on any normal day, but the problem was there was a storm coming, and Javier did not like storms. They made him extremely anxious. The giraffes were all talking amongst themselves about what they were going to do about the fact that Javier had fell asleep downstairs, and if he woke up and there was a storm, he would be really scared and really anxious, and that would not be good. Meepy said to all the other giraffes, "Meep, meep, 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 meep." Mehbal knew what he was saying and said, "Meh, meh, meh." King Giraffey said, "Yeah, guys, I know, exactly. If he wakes up and there's a storm, it's going to be horrible. We need to get him upstairs and get him in bed and keep him in bed and keep him asleep, because I think he's going to wake up down here, but if he's in his own bed and he's really comfortable, he might stay asleep and sleep through the storm and we won't have to worry about it. I have a plan. Meepy Giraffe said, "Meep, Me. And King Giraffey said, yeah, I know. I'm going to tell you about it right now. This is my plan. Well, I have 2 plans. Plan A is we keep him asleep. Plan B is if he wakes up, then we have to do that thing that we've been practicing. We have to do that. Meh said, Meh? Meh? And Meepy said, Me. Aha, me. King Giraffey said, yeah, right, that force field that we've been doing. Remember what we all talked about the other night when we had the giraffe meeting? Every giraffe that Javier owns was at the meeting. They were talking about what they could do to help Javier when he gets anxious. And they decided that they were going to do a Giraffey Force Field. A Giraffey Force Field is when all the giraffes circle around Javier. They all hold hands and they start to make like a happy dome around him of energy. So you can imagine he's stood in this dome force field that protects him from anything on the outside world that could possibly cause him anxiousness. Like storms, or maybe something happening at school, or maybe his brothers are stressing him out, or maybe it's something completely different. Whatever it is, Meepy will sense what's going on with him, and then he will tell everyone else what's happening, and then we all create the happy dome around Javier. We hold hands and we tell him all the wonderful things that he is, and we make him feel better with awesome affirmations. And then what happens is he doesn't feel as anxious. And when he doesn't feel as anxious, he can calm down. And then he can be happy in the happy dome that we've created because of the Giraffey Force Field. That's plan B. Plan A is to keep this guy asleep. Mehball, Meepy Giraffe, and King Giraffey all stood around each other discussing what they were going to do to try and get Javier upstairs. Because Javier was 12. And 12 is not small. And 12 means that he's heavy and he's taller and he's bigger. And how are 3 tiny little stuffed giraffes gonna carry him upstairs? King Giraffey said, I think we need to recruit the help of all the giraffes. Every single one of them. All like bazillion of us. Meepy said, Meep, meep, me, 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 me. King Giraffey said, that's a really good idea. Okay, so if we're going to bounce him upstairs, we need something that's really soft and spongy to put underneath him so that we can create some kind of sponge, some kind of squidgy, some kind of like bounce underneath his bungee so that we can get him bouncing all the way upstairs. King Giraffey went into the kitchen and looked around and couldn't find anything. And then he remembered that they had some giant marshmallows that they bought to make s'mores when they had a bonfire a couple of weeks ago. King Giraffey climbed up into the cupboard, got the giant bag of marshmallows, and then carried it into the living room to the other giraffes and explained to them that they were going to lick and stick all of these giant marshmallows on the back of Javier while he was sleeping. They would roll him over, lick him and stick him, and hope that they would stick to the back of his clothes. And then when they roll him back, he'd be laid on a bed of giant marshmallows, and those giant marshmallows would create some kind of bounce, and then they would start him bouncing, and hopefully he would bounce all the way up the stairs into his bed. That was the plan. It took all of Javier's giraffes to lick and stick the marshmallows on the back of him. They kept rolling him over to one side and then rolling him over to the other side until he was absolutely covered in marshmallows all over the back of his body. I bet it felt like he was laying on a bed of marshmallows, which was super comfortable and very relaxing. But Javier didn't know because he was asleep, so he was already comfortable and relaxed. All the giraffes started to push down on the top of his body very gently to start to give him a bounce. It worked a little bit. He started to squish and sink down and then pop back up and squish and sink down and pop back up. But they didn't have enough bounce in the marshmallows to make him move and bounce. And he needed to move and bounce to get him back upstairs. Meh Ball said, "Nah, meh." And King Giraffey said, "Yeah, I know, I agree, this is not working. We need to try something different." Meepy said, "Meep, meep, meep, me, 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 me." King Giraffey said, "Another awesome idea. Where's the socks?" Meepy suggested that they tied a bunch of socks together, and then they tie the socks around Javier somehow, and then they pull him upstairs. "Pull, pull, heave, heave," Meepy was saying. They went upstairs into all the boys' bedrooms. There was 3 brothers, and they got all of the boy socks, and they tied all of the socks together and made a really, 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 really long sock rope. And then they tied the sock rope around both of Javier's arms at the top, so it was harnessed around like the back of his arms and on his back, and then they thought they could just drag him across the floor, drag him all the way upstairs, and drag him onto his bed. That was the plan, without waking him up, because they could sense that the storm was getting closer and closer, and it was going to start thundering soon. And if it thundered and it woke him up before they got him onto bed, then this was all going to fail. All of Javier's giraffes and giraffes and Mehball and Meepy the giraffe and King Giraffey and everyone heaved, heave, heave, pull, pull, pull. They literally moved him 5 inches, and it took them half an hour. King Giraffey said this is never going to work. He dropped the sock rope on the floor, very disappointed. He's too big. If he was 6, we'd be fine. But he's not. He's 12. All of the stuffed giraffes slumped down on the ground, defeated and disappointed. And the storm was getting closer, and it really was going to start to get loud soon. "I think," said King Giraffey, "he's going to wake up down here. We're going to have to do Plan B." All of the giraffes circled around Javier laid on the floor, still asleep. They all held hooves and legs and tails, so they were one giant, loving, big group of giraffes. Like I said, all different colours, different shapes, different sizes, different ages, but they all had one thing in common. They all loved Javier very, very much, and this was very important to them. The storm had already started thundering. Meepy heard the thunder. "Meep," he said. King Giraffey said, "Yep, I know, it's here. Are we all ready? Do we all know what we need to do?" Javier started to stir a little bit. He moved his foot, but he didn't wake up. But all of his giraffes were ready. Mehball said, "Meh, meh." Meepy said, "Me, me, me." King Giraffey said, "I know. I'm anxious too. But it's okay. We know what we're doing. Plan B will work. And from now on, if Plan B works, then he'll always have Plan B with him. And if he always has Plan B with him, if he's anxious and we're not there, like if he gets anxious at school or something, he can always do Plan B without us, because all it takes is to do Plan B once with us, and then you'll know exactly what to do alone." Meepy said, "Meep, meep." Mehball said, "Meh." The thunder got louder. At one point, it really cracked in the sky, and that was the one that woke Javier up. Javier opened his eyes. He looked a little bit startled, but when he saw that all of the 100 of giraffes that he had were all holding hands and paws and tails and everything else around him in a circle, he instantly felt calm. He looked around them all and said, "What you all doing?" King Giraffey said, "We have a plan. We know how to protect you from the storms or from bad dreams or from anything that makes you anxious." Javier said, "Oh yeah, what's that?" The giraffes all started to sway from side to side. And as they swayed from side to side, they all started to shout things in harmony. And the harmony of what they were shouting started to create this energy force field. The energy force field was a brilliant golden light. Javier saw the light. It was like the same colour as all of the giraffes. Well, a lot of the giraffes were that colour. The golden light was shimmering off the giraffes, and it came up and around Javier like a half dome. "This is the happy dome," said King Giraffey. "Meh, meh, 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 meh," said Meh Ball Giraffe. Meepy said, "Me, me, 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 me." King Giraffey said, "Yeah, I know. We love you so much, Javier. This golden light's protecting you." And then the giraffes all started to shout out what they wanted to make him happy. "You're so strong, Javier," all the giraffes said together at once. "We love you, Javier. You're so brave. You're so calm. You're so strong. You're such a great boy. We think you're awesome." Meatball was just shouting his meh, 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 meh. Meepy was doing his meep, 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 meeps. And then all of a sudden, all of the giraffes and the giraffes and Meepy and King Giraffey and Meatball all started to do Meepy's favourite thing, which was to sing. And the song was always something to do with Christmas. Well, most of the time it was something to do with Christmas because he knew lots of Christmas songs. Meepy started singing, "Me, me, 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 me." And all of the giraffes started to join in. "Me, me, 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 me. Me, 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 me." There was something about Christmas songs that just made you naturally happy. Javier started smiling and singing along with Meepy's song. "Me, me, 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 me." They were swaying from side to side. Me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. The dome, the golden dome, was so bright. It was really, really bright, and you could imagine that anything that tried to get inside of the dome, any sounds, any energies, any feelings, any thoughts, any people, anything, nothing could get through that happy dome. The giraffes had created a force field that could not be reckoned with. Javier shouted, "Is the storm still out there?" The storm was cracking really loud and thundering really loud over the house, and Javier couldn't hear a thing. All he could hear was all the wonderful things that the giraffes were shouting. "We love you, Javier. Me, 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 me." The songs, the really awesome affirmations. It was all a force that could not be reckoned with. The storm moved on, and all of the giraffes, Giraffey, King Giraffey, Meepy Giraffe, Meh Ball Giraffe, all eventually let go of each other and broke down the force field. The golden light got dimmer and dimmer and dimmer until it wasn't needed anymore. Javier was laid on the ground, And then he realised he felt really sticky. Why do I have giant marshmallows stuck all over my back? All of the giraffes laughed at once. Meep, 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 meep. Meep, meep, meep. Meep. Everyone thought it was really funny. King Giraffey said, well, that was plan A, and it didn't work. Javier said, why do I have socks tied round my shoulders? All of the giraffes started laughing again. Said King Giraffey. Well, that was plan A as well, and that didn't work. We were trying to get you upstairs into your bedroom because we thought you'd sleep through the storm in your bed, but it didn't work, so we did plan B. And plan B was the force field that stops all things that make you anxious. That way, in the future, if you're in school or anywhere else and we're not there and you're feeling really anxious, all you have to do is sing a Christmas song, me, 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 and imagine us all around you holding hooves and tails and hair and everything else, creating that golden giraffe force field, knowing that we're with you all the time. And we love you very much. And you're very brave and very strong. And you can get through anything. Javier said, you guys are the best. He put his arms out and all of the stuffies ran in and gave him the biggest, bestest hugs. You really did protect me from the storm, said Javier. I couldn't hear a thing. All the giraffes started cheering. Yay! Yay! Meh! Meh! Me! 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 Everyone knew what that was. Javier took a few turns, but eventually he carried all his stuffed giraffes upstairs, put them all around his bed and all in his bedroom where they belong, where he likes them, where they're there when he needs them. And then he laid down on his bed and told everyone he was going to take a nap. A nice, long nap. He felt safe and loved and very, very protected. I mean, who wouldn't feel protected if they knew they had a golden Giraffey force field around them at all times if they need it? Javier fell fast asleep again, really fast, really quick and easy. And he slept the best he'd slept in a really long time. The end.
Mm-hmm.